the Iranian foreign minister called the recent talks as serious and focused. Do you see this as a shift in Iran's diplomatic tone?
I think that Iran is handling the negotiations positively, but that does not mean that there isn't consensus about certain things. There are statements by Arakshi or some Iranian officials regarding some tensions, as some things remain to be discussed and there are gaps. And this statement is mainly positive with some um, elements that indicate a non-complete consensus. This kind of speech is not new, but it's more positive than others, and Iran now has new incentives to reach an agreement. It wants to lift the sanctions, and it wants to upgrade the relations with other states, and they want to avoid the Trump random diplomacy policy, and they are well aware of the transitional sensitive phase in its history regarding the casualties and all they have lost, whether Hezbollah or Hamas that used to play a certain role, or even the Houthis who are being now subjected to more pressures by the U.S. administration.
Mr. Hany, let me go back. Mr. Hany, let me go back to a point. How different is this round of talks, the third one that just ended yesterday, than the other two rounds? Mr. Hany.
This is a very important question. The previous rounds in Vienna or Geneva, the negotiation path was very slow and there was no opportunities to reach this advanced level. But yesterday we have seen fast, steady steps. And since the beginning of the negotiations in the three rounds, we are seeing a lot of progress, and there is a fast pace to follow the talks. There is a lot of consensus between the two parties, which shows that more opportunities to reach positive outcomes, whether it's going to be an overall agreement or a partial agreement, whether only regarding the nuclear program, or also they will go for the Iranian drone and the ballistic missiles. Eventually, I think there is a lot of chances to reach an agreement. And especially that Donald Trump, in spite of his policies, he's very concerned with reaching an agreement anyway. And I think he's capable of that, and he has a lot of tools to take advantage of compared to Joe Biden administration.
Well, Mr. Malik, in your point of view, what do you think are the main concerns Washington is prioritizing ahead of the fourth round of nuclear talks that might be soon in Europe?
I think the main thing, as I said before, for President Trump and his administration don't want Iran to have nuclear weapons. And don't forget that Trump's policy really is working for to protect Israel's interests at the same time. And it's very unfortunate because he should be working for the interests of the United States. But, you know, the Israeli lobby is very powerful here. And Iran, what's good about the negotiation, both sides want an agreement. They don't want to confront each other because no one is going to win. It's going to cost trillions of dollars. Then it will really hurt the American interest in the Arab world and the Middle East and all over. And I don't think Trump could afford it. And President Trump, since he entered the White House, he claimed that he's going to win, he always say. So he hasn't won anything yet. So he wants to have at least a nuclear agreement to tell his followers here that he won. President Biden could not do it because there were secret meetings between the Iranians and the Biden administration. And President Biden thought he was going to have a nuclear agreement before the election. Unfortunately, he was forced out of the presidential election. And according to my information, that Iran did agree not to support its friends in Lebanon, Hezbollah, or in Syria, in Iraq, or in Yemen. So they did agree on that issue. And about the ballistic missiles, I don't think you could have Iran naked without any defense because you don't trust Prime Minister, the Zionist, the war criminal Netanyahu. He may attack Iran anytime he wants to because he doesn't listen to anyone. And what happened yesterday at the port, nobody knows yet if Israel was behind it or not. So it's very dangerous. Yeah, go ahead.
Let's move to Mr. Hany back again. From your own perspective, sir, what are the major sticking points from Iran's perspective, do you think, going into the fourth round?
I think there are a lot of sticking points and things that are not yet discussed. Is it an overall comprehensive agreement as proposed by Donald Trump before, or is it a partial or temporary agreement regarding managing the transitional phase? Regarding the U.S. With the Israeli pressures, want Iran to give up the nuclear program completely, and there is a confidence crisis, and Iran will never accept such terms, and they will not lose the only card giving it flexibility and a margin to stall and pressure the US side. The other part regarding the nuclear or the missile program that the US want to incorporate into the negotiations, especially that Iran is able to integrate nuclear powers for the drones as well. And it was also a topic for discussion with Russia before, and this was a reason that called for integrating such an item in the negotiations. It's one of the points of disagreement, and there are technical issues here raised by the US side regarding the nuclear and the non-disclosure and complete full cooperation with the agency. Iran does not want international supervision, or they do not want supervisors from Russia or China. And I think that both countries have a desire with certain terms to reach an agreement,
Yeah.
but each party will be very decisive, and they also will need to compromise some points. This will serve the interests of both Iran and the US.